According to Borussia Dortmund manager Marco Verratti, the club will be without the services of star striker Erling Haaland for the foreseeable future, after the Norwegian prodigy suffered an injury during his team's embarrassing 4-0 defeat to Ajax in a Champions League group stage encounter. This is going to be a huge blow for the club as they look to end Bayern Munich's utter dominance of German football. Mutiny is on the cards as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer holds on for dear life as Manchester United manager. Apparently, several members of the senior team have gotten brave in their criticism of the Norwegian tactician's coaching methods. Is it the end of the road? Now that Marco Verratti is out for 4 weeks, Paris Saint Germain will have to dig deep and find someone who can capably replace the Italian midfielder in what is going to be a busy fixture list for the league leaders. Eden Hazard is currently fully fit, a rare sight these days, but it appears that his manager at Real Madrid isn't too keen on using him at present. What does the future hold for the Belgian international? We'll answer all these questions in just a bit, so before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and let us know your thoughts on all the topics that we're covering today in the comments section. Following Steve Bruce's dismissal, Newcastle United's search for a replacement continues. However, the new rich boys of the Premier League aren't going to go for just any manager. They want to acquire the services of a tactician who can instantly transform the team's fortunes. Whoever comes in will be given significant transfer funds to shape the team in his image, something that most managers can only dream of. According to several European media outlets, the former AS Roma boss Paulo Fonseca is the favourite to get the job. However, it appears that the Saudi ownership has had a change of heart and is now looking at the current situation of former Borussia Dortmund manager Lucien Favre. At the age of 64, the Swiss tactician might consider walking away from the game for good, but might have pushed back his retirement party because the German media is claiming that he's already in discussions with the Magpies. Hopefully, the Saudi-backed club will have an announcement soon. After leaving prematurely from Belgium's gathering for the Nations League semi-final, Eden Hazard was forced to watch Real Madrid beat Barcelona at the Camp Nou from the sidelines. The experienced winger has lost his place to Vinicius Jr., whose star continues to shine brighter than ever. The former Chelsea man was an unused sub during the season's first El Clasico, and it should be taken as a blow for a player who's yet to play a single minute of this poster game. He has so far missed 5 games against the Catalan Giants. In 2019, he missed both due to an ankle injury, and since then, one injury or another has forced him to miss these encounters. This time around though, it was Carlo Ancelotti who saw no reason to bench Vinicius for a player who's been battling with multiple fitness issues since signing for the club, and who can blame the Italian tactician for having eyes only for the young Brazilian, who's been in such fine form and rarely gets injured. Maybe the Eden Hazard to Real Madrid move was never meant to be a success. The cost of the Classique for PSG. An injury to star midfielder Marco Verratti, who will be unavailable for 4 weeks. In football, a month seems like an eternity, and the images of Verratti's premature exit in the goalless draw against Marseille were a real shocker. According to the team's medical staff, the Italian international is suffering from a deep lesion around his hip muscles, which means that he'll be out for at least 4 weeks. By taking a look at the calendar, Verratti will be missing key games against RB Leipzig, Bordeaux, Nantes, and even the crucial game against Manchester City. Without any attempt to disrespect the likes of Bordeaux and Nantes, PSG can do without the experienced midfielder in Ligue 1. However, the situation in the Champions League is a bit worrying. PSG haven't always been in control of the games they've won in the competition, which means that Mauricio Pochettino has got a bit of a job on his hands. On paper, the likes of Ander Herrera, Danilo Pereira, and Jorginho Wijnaldum can at least plug the hole. Leandro Paredes is still injured, otherwise the Argentine would have been the perfect replacement. Pereira is a diligent performer on the field, but not one of the most technically gifted ones. Wijnaldum, on the other hand, lost his place due to performances. Herrera has had a great start to the campaign, but he's not a creative force. Then there's another player, Rafinha, who is still playing for the club, but hardly gets any minutes these days. So, will Pochettino play the youth card? The young Eric Dina Mbambe is one player who's been named on the bench in recent weeks, and then you've got potential stars in Xavi Simons and Edouard Michut. There are tons of options for Pochettino out there, so let's see which players get the nod in the 4 weeks where the league leaders will have to find a way to exist without their midfield engine. Alright, so at present, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer gets to have his stay of execution despite seeing his side thrown around like a ragdoll in their own backyard by Liverpool, who their coaching staff believe attack the opponent's goal like velociraptors from Jurassic World. Widely criticised by pundits who harbour doubts over the Norwegian's coaching abilities despite being considered one of the nicest men in the game. Man United have reportedly identified Antonio Conte as his replacement, with the Italian manager still jobless following his departure from Internazionale in the summer. According to the English media, the club's senior hierarchy isn't happy with the team's abject performance against Liverpool and has asked for a quick resolution to the problems. However, they also haven't singled out the manager, aware that a lot of goals conceded were down to individual errors from players who were not expected to fold this easily. United have got a very difficult fixture list ahead, with trips to Tottenham and Atalanta before the Manchester derby at Old Trafford on November 6th. Following that game, the team will be on a break, and Solskjaer's presence at Carrington will be dictated by the outcome of those 3 games. Moreover, the Red Devils have not yet contacted Conte and are still backing the manager. But let us repeat it again. Further poor performances are likely to change the club's stance, even though they really don't want it to come to that. United aren't the sort of club that will fire a manager on a whim. But even then, Solskjaer has been given an ultimatum. He's got 3 matches to save his skin, and even if he's able to get decent results out of 2 games, his position might be less precarious than it is now. At the same time, it's been reported that Solskjaer's inability to get the best out of his preferred starting 11 has emboldened those players that have been scarcely used. According to rumours, Eric Bailly decided to finally confront his manager by demanding an explanation why unfit players are being used by him time and time again. Harry Maguire was reportedly not fully fit for the games against Atalanta and Liverpool, and the England international was at fault for 4 goals in those 2 games. Bailly must feel that he's done enough in training to get a chance. Another player who's not happy with this situation is Donny van der Beek, who rarely gets a look in and is yet to be given a sustained run of games in order to find a rhythm. On top of that, Paul Pogba is one of those players who no longer trusts the manager. According to the Daily Mail, the Frenchman snubbed his manager in the locker room following the 5-0 humiliation. While he did apologise to his teammates for his red card, the 28-year-old ignored Ola. It's also being claimed that Pogba will only sign a new contract with the club if they bring in a top-class manager. With Real Madrid carefully observing things from afar, the Red Devils have a lot of issues to tackle. Wow, United have once again become a soap opera. True to his reputation of a bit of a cyborg, Erling Haaland has made a great start to the season for Borussia Dortmund. With 13 goals and 4 assists in all competitions, the young Norwegian continues to be one of the best strikers in the world. However, the Leeds native is now expecting the first real glitch of his young career. The youngster recently suffered a thigh injury during his team's 4-0 thrashing at the hands of Ajax, and it's unlikely to see him return to the fold anytime soon. Former Norway international Jan Åge Fjørtoft, who is close to the Haalands, has already confirmed that his fellow countryman might not be able to play again this year. While speaking to the media, he said that the game against Ajax could be the last of the year. This would be a massive blow for Dortmund, who have a hellish schedule until December 18th. In the Champions League, they have a favourable run of fixtures, but it's in the Bundesliga where things might get complicated. They've made a great start to the campaign and they trail the leaders Bayern Munich by only 1 point. They've got away games at Leipzig and Wolfsburg next, and then they host Bayern Munich in the season's first Der Klassiker, which will be a difficult game to play. That game could even be a turning point of the club's season, so you can understand why Marco Rose will be so worried about not having his best player on the pitch. The young Youssoufa Moukoko has shown a lot of promise, but it's too early to expect the young striker to start delivering the goods, especially against a Bayern side that boasts so much talent in every position. However, Borussia Dortmund should have enough talent and class to take care of the other sides in the league, so that even if they don't get a preferable result against the reigning German champs, it won't come at a grave cost.